Brendan, can you compare the anticipation of tonight's event as president of a hockey club compared to your days when you played in an opening night in that regard?
Well, I think the start of the season is just an exciting day for everybody, no matter whether you're a fan or a player or somewhere else in the organization. You know, sort of just feel it in the air this morning.
What does it say about this organization that you can whip up this much hype, you know, the concert downtown at Dundas Square, all the fan involvement?
Well, I just think that it's really about, you know, the passion for hockey here in a lot of cities. I mean, the NHL's in a good place. Certainly Toronto is, the interest here is like so many other places in Canada. And again, it's growing throughout the NHL. I think that everybody, hockey fans in general, are excited about today.
What kind of a message do you have for your fans regarding this season?
Excuse me?
What message do you have for the fans regarding this season?
Well, you know, I think that the message is something that has to be earned. It's not about us telling them what, you know, what our messaging is. I think the best way to speak to our fans is with the way we play.
How do you balance your short-term goals with your long-term vision? And how much do you still have to learn about this team, about the job, about, you know, sort of your task?
Well, I think you learn every day if you're willing to, and if you're receptive to things. And it is a balance. I mean, obviously, you do have long-term plans and long-term goals, and that different people, different people in the organization are here for different reasons. And I think that it's very important that we've got people here who are not worried about the long term. That's I can worry about that. As far as our players and our coaching staff, and you know, I want them to just be thinking about one thing, and that's their next game.
Do you think this team got better, Brendan, from where it was a year ago?
Well, I think that, you know, every year, every team, whether they're new hires or not, they're going to make changes, and obviously those changes are with the hopes of improving. So we're hopeful that we've improved. We went after certain things and tried to you know, debriefed at the end of last season and identified certain needs. And again, it comes down to, you know, there are 30 teams that think that they've improved, probably. Now it all comes down to competition.
Brendan, how would you describe the identity of this team this year?
Well, again, I keep saying this. I mean, I think that we certainly have some hopes, but you know, things like your identity are not something that you say the afternoon of the home opener. It's something that you earn by going out on the ice and establishing your identity. I think that that's something that we made very clear to our players, that there are opportunities now for them to continue to write their story as individuals and write their story as a team. But that's done through play. That's done through going out and getting it done on the ice. Nothing that's said in here.
Do you recall the last time you were a paying customer for a Leaf game?
I think the last time I was a paying customer for a Leaf game? Yeah, I think I do. Well, I think that had to be late 70s, early 80s, probably. I didn't have an opportunity to get to many Leaf games, but I do remember taking the subway down and being thrilled to see these guys up close. I probably went to a few more Marley games.
Right. Wear a Leaf jersey?
No, I didn't wear a Leaf jersey.
You sought some advice from people that you were mentored in your career, such as Lou Lamoriello, since you took over, just informal talks about your job?
Well, again, I think, yeah, you know, anytime you have an opportunity to speak to somebody that you respect, or, you know, or just anybody in general, people are full of advice, and it's great. And I think that you can't be a slave to, you know, hearing too much and trying to copy other people, but there's always something you can learn and pick up from. And I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by some great teammates and some great executives, and I've had a great learning experience in my life in hockey.
Do you have a clear vision? I know you say identities earned. Do you have a clearer vision today than when you took the job about what you want this team to be, how you want it to play?
Well, I do. I think that certainly it's something that you have to talk to people, and you have to do a little bit of homework on the players and the team and discuss it with your staff. And you know, I think that's the one thing that I'm pleased with. I like our staff. I like the way that we're built. I like the, you know, the dynamics that they exhibit when they're in a room talking with each other. And certainly we feel that there's a way that we need to play that I think that, you know, there are probably a lot of teams that are trying to play similarly. At the end of the day, we want to be successful.
What is that way?
Well, I'm not going to give you everything. Well, generally speaking, I think that, you know, the puck is something that we have to own a little bit more. And there are teams that are built different ways to own the puck and have the puck. That's the key to the hockey game. Both teams, whether they are a big, tough dump and chase team or a skilled, quick, you know, puck handling team, everybody's looking to control the puck, control the game.
There's a lot been made the last couple of days. Fraser McLaren, Colton Orr, waived Brandon Cozen, and a couple of newer faces brought in. Did you have much input into that decision, and what do you think that decision says about, you know, the vision and what you should expect from this team?
Well, I think we as a group all had input, and at the end of the day, we had said going into camp that we wanted to outfit whatever team we felt gave us the best opportunity to win a game. And so we felt certain people came to camp and not just impressed over the couple of weeks, but you know, there are players that certainly have had good camps, but they had good seasons last year as well. They've been developing, and it's not a matter of somebody came in and caught our eye for 2 weeks. It's, you know, people caught our eye and we hope to see something from them in camp, and they did. So really, the statement is truly about us just trying to find a lineup that will win us the game.
And the fact that you don't have the quote enforcer in that lineup, has there been too much made of that?
I think so. Look, I love tough hockey. I love tough hockey players, but you know, to me, grit is so much more than just simply dropping your gloves. And it's not an indictment on the players that we sent down in any way. But to me, you know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for those guys, and we truly did just try to focus on individuals that we thought would give us a great opportunity, the best opportunity to win hockey games at this time. And so we said that there were going to be jobs here to earn, and we felt that other people had earned them. But as far as toughness and grit and ability to show that sort of grit in different ways, that's something that I value very much. And I think that there are different ways to show that in a hockey game as a team.
For example, what jumps out for you?
Well, I think just players, you know, for example, but I would say, for example, but speaking more generally, players that when the temperature of a game goes up, they don't shrink. That to me, it doesn't matter what your size is, where you're from. To me, it's as the temperature of a game goes up, players that sort of relish that moment and don't shrink in that role are players that impress us as a management group.